what's up? This is Matt from Exhumed. You're burning up on Hellbound, man. Turn it up.
Hi, it's Todd Owens with Hellbound tonight at the Oakland Metro in Oakland, California with Matt from Exhumed. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Doing good, man. Nice to be back in California. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just off a little run with the Gruesome guys in Obituary, and now you're getting ready for some Exhumed shows.
Yeah, it's out of the frying pan into the fire. Gruesome, we did a West Coast, like a week-long West Coast thing. Then we went out with Obituary for 2 weeks. And then now, basically Exhumed, we were doing Maryland Death Fest and a festival in Vancouver. So since we would have had to start rehearsing and everything here in California, we decided to do a couple California dates. We're here in Oakland tonight and Sacramento tomorrow. So,
is it for you? Is it like, how is that going from one band to the other? It's a long experience with a lot of different bands. So you've experienced it jumping from one, but how, is it easy to get out of the Gruesome hat and then put on the Exhumed hat? Or?
It's a little bit of a trip because Exhumed is so much faster, you know. But at the same time, I've been playing Exhumed since I was like, 15, and
you play it in your sleep, right? Most of those.
To an extent, there's a lot of muscle memory there that's not quite as prevalent with Gruesome, but it definitely was a leap up in intensity. We were playing yesterday, and I was like, damn, dude, my right hand is about to fall fuck off. This shit's fast. But, it's always fun, and I mean, like, I enjoy playing different bands because they're different. I wouldn't want to play in, like...
Changes it up.
Yeah, totally, man, totally. So they all kind of have their own... challenges and their own comfort zones, and it's I'm a fan of a lot of different bands, so it's fun to also play in a lot of different bands. It's always good.
All right, so you got show tonight, show tomorrow in Sac, and then it's been I think probably almost 4 years, right, since the last material from Exhumed guys, and so got something new ready to go.
We just finished a new album. It's in fact. I have not had a chance to listen to the new mastering sample that I got today. That's on my to-do list for tomorrow. So it's basically done. The artwork is like 99% done. The music is 99% done. So we're looking at October of this year, tentatively. So it's been a long time coming. I mean, when we were recording the last Exhumed album, it was like the fucking Obama-Romney election. It didn't come out until much later the following year, okay. But I mean, that tells you like how long ago it was.
Came out in like 2013, right?
Right, we were so innocent then.
No, yeah. I feel like that's the master plan with like Trump. Like anything after Trump will be like, okay.
Right. It seems so like nice and innocuous.
Find yourself agreeing with Republicans.
Yeah, I was like, man, George W. Bush does not seem so weird anymore. Like, okay, it's a whole different ball of wax.
Part of the plan.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's a little more gap than you. I mean, you had 2 albums since you kind of reformed back in 2010, you had 2011 and 2013, and now I guess this will be officially album number 7 or 7. Well,
wait,
do you count the cover as a?
No, so it'd be number 6. The thing, we did the 2 records and we were touring nonstop. We were playing anywhere and everywhere, and the tour cycle just kind of kept going on and on and on and on. And not in a bad way. I mean, it was great. We had, some of the best times of our lives, to be honest. As much as maybe my liver might disagree, but it got to the point where it was kind of ridiculous. Where there was a point where we were playing like, I think we did Orange County and Phoenix like clockwork, like every 7 weeks for like 6 months, and it was just getting too much, So we knew that we needed to take a step back. And we had a lot of things kind of change since the last record. Ross Sewage, who played on Gore Metal and was in the band during the demo days before that, has come back into the fold and rejoined us. And we had fulfilled our contract with Relapse, and so we needed to renegotiate a new one. And so, because we were still sort of operating under the contract we had signed in '98. So it's
like an eternity, right?
Right, especially in the music industry. I mean, if you think about how much it's changed since the turn of the century. So that was a whole new ball of wax, and so everything kind of like conspired to take a little bit more time, and turn around and like, holy shit, man, we haven't recorded a new record in like 4 years. So we were very overdue, and we're really excited to get the new record out and be able to go out again with some fresh material and do the whole new cycle. Not as crazy as the last one. I mean, hopefully.
Well, I know personally I was psyched when Ross kind of stepped back into the band or whatever, and I don't know if it was just initially kind of fill in some shows and see how it worked out, and then it kind of grew from that, or maybe you want to talk a little bit about that, because like you said, he goes back to like 94 or something.
Right, yeah.
Through that first incarnation, and so...
Well, with Ross, I mean...
He had other things going on, and he still does.
Obviously, yes. He and I both like to keep working, that's something we have in common. With Ross, we had our bass player, Rob, who was with us for a few years, and after that didn't work out, we had another guy who, came on board, Matt Slime, who both of them did a great job, but Matt decided he wanted to bow out. And originally when we started the band back up again, I thought, in a perfect world I would get Ross back in, but it didn't really seem to be in the cards. And we had re-recorded the first album, and he had kind of done just a couple songs with us live here, a couple songs there. And that to me was sort of like the let's dip our toe in the water kind of thing and see if he would be into it. And luckily for us, he was, and we're very happy. I mean, I don't know how much of a big deal it is to other people or how aware, because we have had so many lineup changes. But, Ross was a guy that really had a very significant role in kind of making Exhumed what it is, aesthetically, artistically, musically, and everything else. So for me, it was really cool to
Plus, he seems like a really cool guy.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah. And he's one of the best guys to be in a band with, because he does like to work. He's a super hard worker, and he's if he does something, he does it full on. He doesn't go halfway, And so for me, it was really exciting, and I felt like it was more about kind of bringing things back full circle. Not that we're going to go and make another record that sounds exactly like gore metal or whatever, but I want to retain as much as sort of that original spirit of the band as we can, and having Ross involved, is great. And Bud, our guitar player, has been with us for a few years now. He played bass with us from 99 to 2003. Right. So, for me as a fan, I look at bands and it's just the one guy and then three other people, whatever. And it's always kind of a bummer, even if the band is cranking out good material. So for me, it feels more credible, and I've known these guys 20 whatever years. We get along great. We play well together. I think we'll see tonight, but I feel like we play pretty good together, and I feel like that there's a good consistency to having people involved for so long. It makes me feel better about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely agree with you. I'm a nostalgia guy, so I love it when you can have as many original as possible. Not
totally. It's so rare.
The drummer from Thin Lizzy or something. That's it.
Right,
or whatever.
Right.
Wow. Or, I remember seeing Foreigner one night, and it's there's one guy left in Foreigner, and that night, his fill-in was, he's tonight, whoever's not playing with Foreigner night. So it's well, basically it's a cover of
dudes who've never played on any of the records, right? That gets
it's a full-on cover band.
To me, it's really neat to think we're just out with Obituary, and John and Donald and Trevor. I mean, those guys have been playing together since the mid '80s. Since they were kids, since they were children, and they have a chemistry there that is kind of unmatchable. I mean, you think about Metallica; they've had 3/4 of the same band since 1982. That's pretty fucking unheard of, And
or '83.
Did Kurt join in '83? All right, so
but
it's still
way back.
It's 34 years. Yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty intense, and I think that there's a lot to be said, because when you that initial spark of kind of when a band forms, that's kind of that's where the magic is, and then the work comes in, and you can build on that and make it even better. But it's easier to keep the magic with guys that knew what it was when you couldn't get a gig. You were, one dude got kicked out of his apartment and lived on the other guy's floor, and you're like, oh, I don't know, we got $10. How the three of us gonna eat today? When you've been through
survive those days.
Right, and then there's a cohesion there to, and also when you're kids, when you're teenagers, your whole life revolves around music. Everything was so vitally important, and you share those things, and there's just something really magical to that, and that chemistry we want to preserve as much of it as we can. I mean, I think we did good work with every lineup, hopefully, but to me, as looking at it objectively, I feel much happier as like a person that cares about my own band, having Ross and Bud and I, it's 3/4 of the band. It's pretty great. And not taking anything away from Mike. Mike's amazing, and he's been playing with us now for like 6.5 years. So it's not like he's just some fucking dude off the street, But it's all it works great, and I couldn't be happier.
I think you bring the fans' perspective to your. I mean, you get both sides of it, obviously. You're a fan, and you're also a professional musician. So, like for me, like Lombardo and Slayer, that's a perfect example. Like as soon as he came back into the fold, like I thought, like they sounded like Slayer again. Like,
right.
When he came back in, there wasn't Rain and Blood, but
it was the difference.
Now that he's not in there, it's just like, to me, it's like he's around and Slayer's touring without him.
It's really weird to me when Lombardo came back into Slayer. That it was like the difference between Slayer and a band that sounds like Slayer. It just was that something, and it's not like Dave Lombardo's writing the riffs or whatever, but it's just that vibe,
There, right?
And
at the time, it was those 4 guys, right, with Jeff still.
Right, and obviously Jeff is no longer available to do it, and I'm sure if he was, he would still be in the band today, So.
But yeah, arguments with people now, I'm like, it's half Slayer. Still great, I love Slayer, but it's not compared to Lombardo and Jeff in their heyday, right?
Yeah, it's a different band and it's a different dynamic, and it's also like those dudes are 50 and they're not going to have the same energy that they have when they were 20. And it's not even a bad thing, it's just different. It's just like you can't go back again,
So what else tour plans for you guys, and then leading up to the release, I guess a few months down the road, we've seen the new stuff. So.
We're just going to kind of, with Exhumed, I think we're just doing this week, and we're going to be kind of laying low until everything's cemented with the record, and then we can make plans that make sense. We had a couple offers for the summer, and I was like, I would love to do this tour, but it seems silly for us to go out and then 2 months later, hey, new record's out, here we are again, because that's exactly why we haven't been playing as much the last couple of years, is because we played so
build the anticipation. See, like for people like me, we're waiting.
Right. I mean, well, it's supply and demand, it's just that simple. If you can get something readily on every street corner, you're not dying for it, what I mean? Like, unless it's like coffee or whatever. I don't know how people are still that excited about coffee, but every morning people are excited about coffee. But if you're not like addicted to it or whatever, like nobody ever sees like a fucking candy bar, like, oh my God, a candy bar. It's like, yeah, there's one at Office Max, there's one at the gas station, there's one at the supermarket, like it's fucking everywhere. So, we're trying to let people get stoked to see us again. We're not being hermits. I mean, but we're just trying to lay low a little bit.
Some local bands that will go unnamed, but it's like they play every week, and it's like, what are you just like? And then where's the crowd? It's like, well, you're playing every week. People can just, I'll see them next time. Right. And even people that love your band, there just gets to a saturation point, and especially without having a new record, and that is kind of like the whole. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound so businessy or whatever, but it's like the whole thing is when you have a new product and people are interested in that and they're being drawn into the marketing and so on and so forth, that exacerbates the demand, which makes it easier to go in and do a good show, not just in terms of production of the show, but also more people, they're more excited, the vibe is better, and it's just more fun for everyone when everyone is stoked. I assume towards the end of the year you'll be maybe putting something together stateside, or once post album and stuff.
Yeah, like
nothing you can tell us yet, though.
No, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. It's not a secret. There's nothing to tell yet. But as soon as we have the 100% definite, like, yes, the album's coming out on X day, then we can look at what we want to pull the trigger on. But yeah, we'll definitely be out and hopefully moderately visible to the people.
Right. Well, we're lucky to be here in the Bay Area to get a couple of shows with you guys. So that's all I had for you. Anything else you want to add for Hellbound people out there?
Just thank you for listening to me ramble twice in a short amount of time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your hospitality.
Cheers, buddy.